Hello, and my name is Michelle Kelly, and I'm going to share with you the Basic Health Profession Skills course resources and a little bit about this course to help you understand how this course is to be taught. So let's start by reviewing what the course description is. This information is found in all Canvas course content. But the description of this course is based previously acquired knowledge and skill relevant to students' professional development. Lecture and simulated laboratory experience prepare the students to utilize critical thinking and communicate effectively when performing advanced clinical skills. The whole idea of this course is to help students communicate in healthcare setting in a professional manner. So we are going to be working with our students to advance their soft skill understanding and learning. The end of course outcomes for this course are as follows: utilize advanced clinical skills, mainly through communication, implement therapeutic communication techniques, demonstrate head-to-toe system-based physical assessments, which we have altered from head-to-toe but more specific to what certificate they're getting. So if it's phlebotomy, we will focus on physical assessments of a phlebotomist. If it's medical assisting, we'll focus on physical assessment for medical assisting. If it's rehab aid and rehab therapy, you would focus on that. And if it is patient care technician or certified nursing aide, you would focus on those assessments. So you're going to have to build this around whatever group of students you are focused on, and then apply critical thinking to problem solving. In this course, there is a National Healthcare Association course called Personability, and we purchased this through the National Healthcare Association. When students take this course, they are required to purchase this resource. This is an external resource from Canvas and from the college that they must purchase and acquire. Now, that being said, I will communicate with you how they will access these resources. But when they complete this external program outside this course, they will obtain a certificate on personability, which they are able to put on their resume and show healthcare organizations that they have been trained on soft skills. So here's a list of the student learning outcomes from the personability course from the National Healthcare Association. I will not read them. They are found in the Canvas course curriculum. Now, the layout of this course is a lecture and a lab. It depends on how it's been set up by your director, but there are a few options. Typically, the lecture lab component, the lecture is a 2-credit course and the lab is a 2-credit course. The lecture is web-based and has 32 contact hours, which is 50% of the grade for the course. The lab is also 32 hours, and depending on how it's been written, it could be written as a web course, which is 100% online. It could be an F2F, which is a face-to-face course, which means that you would have to meet 32 hours within the semester with your students. Or it could be written as a hybrid course, which you have to meet 16 plus hours face-to-face with your students. In this course, we have 8 modules. Depending on how the course is set up, if it's an 8-week course, each module will last 1 week. If it's a 16-week course, each module will be extended out to 2 weeks. So that's the layout of the course. Here is an example of a module that has been created. This is module 2, and it's all about community. So if you look at this module, you'll notice the lecture component. The assignments are listed here. They have National Healthcare Association Introduction to Essential Skills, which they will go through the personability course through NHA, their account, and they will complete that assignment. They'll also complete a reflective activity that is provided by NHA, and they need that when they go through this. And then they'll have a discussion that they must complete on professionalism. And this will be all done online, outside of the classroom. This is considered the lecture portion of the course. Now the laboratory, which can be in class if it's hybrid, some they can do at home, some you can pick and choose what you're going to do in class. It really is up to you as the instructor, and you do have freedom of instructing on how you want to set this up. One of the activities is called Align, Inquire, and Make a Plan. This is called AIM. It's a great activity to do in person. The self-awareness activity is a great activity for them to do online, or you can have them do it in the lab with a classmate. And then writing a professional email. There is some information inside this activity on how to write a professional email. I think it's important to go over with the students how to do that. And then you can send this home as make it an online activity, or you could make it an in-person activity. There is a PowerPoint that goes through how to understand the practice of Align, Inquire, and Make a Plan. And I think that's important to review prior to doing the AIM activity. So this is how it's set up. You'll notice on every module below, it has instructor activity ideas that is not published. You can use this instructor activity ideas. There's different ideas that have been provided for multiple instructors. If you're teaching it face-to-face, you can look at these ideas and implement them into your class if you'd like. If you find another one that you really like, please send it to me and I'll add it to the instructor activity ideas on the master shell for next semester. Now the resources that we have for this course, there are two. I encourage students to purchase both, but depending on the situation, this one here, the Personal Development for Life and Work, can be an optional. This one here is the Personability course by NHA and must be purchased through NHA. And that's what I'm going to cover on how to go about and purchase this through the bookstore at your campus. Your students can purchase it through the bookstore at the campus. Now, what is the Personability resource? A little bit about it. It is from the National Healthcare Association. It's a course built by them that we have incorporated into Canvas. Now, it doesn't link with Canvas. It doesn't have that capability. So we do have assignments listed in Canvas, and they're going to have to upload a progress report each time they complete a module in that course. The students must purchase. It costs about $110, and it must be purchased through the Collin College bookstore. They cannot purchase it any other way, and they must purchase it using their Collin email. If they don't use their Collin email address, it makes it very difficult for them to access it and for you to add them into the course on the other side. So that is really important to communicate with students. Instructions, it is located in the modules in the Canvas shell, and I will show you that. And there is a module that says how to purchase required resources. So there is some specific directions located in the shell for you and for students. Now the second resource, the Personal Development for Life and Work, you are welcome to make this optional. However, if the students are taking phlebotomy or EKG where they have to buy a book through the company Cengage, it would be best for them to purchase the unlimited ebook access, and then they can download this book onto their Cengage courses for this one price. It's unlimited. They can download as many books as they want. And phlebotomy's book does come from Cengage, and the EKG book does come from Cengage. So if your students are in either one of these courses, have them purchase the unlimited ebook from Cengage, because they have to do it for the phlebotomy book anyway, and that way they'll get access to this resource as well. If you are concerned with costs, such as if you're teaching dual credit, which a lot of you will be, you can ask the district to purchase a few class sets and use them in the classroom. Or if you just take sections out of the book, you can make a few class copies of sections. You cannot copy the whole book. But if you look at in the resume section, I actually address like 3 or 4 pages. You are able to copy 3 or 4 pages from a chapter and share it with your students, so they don't have to purchase another textbook. This book is really mainly for face-to-face lab portion of the course or the lab portion of the course. So if you're doing, if you're only teaching on the lecture part, they need the personability. On the lab part, they need this, or they would benefit from the Cengage book, but you can definitely work around it. Okay, so that is a little bit about the course. I'm going to go ahead and show you the curriculum. So let me bounce over to the actual curriculum of this course so you guys can see what it looks like. So this is the district master, and this is the home page, and you're going to want to put your information in here by clicking on the edit button and updating that. But if you go to modules, you can see all the different modules in here. This here is faculty resources. Each one of these sections has information that you may need when you're teaching the class. It might help you. You can pull pieces out of it and share it with them if you're teaching it online. You can pull pieces out of it if you're teaching face-to-face, however, whatever works best for you. This is published and the student should read it carefully. It does give a nice introduction to the basics of health skills, so you'll see some information about the course, how it's set up, and all the learning objectives here. It does go through, you're going to want to meet your teacher, so you're going to want to update this with your instructor information, whoever's teaching it. This is how to purchase the required resource for the personability course. So the first resource is the National Healthcare Association Personability course. This is an interactive digital learning, and this resource material must be purchased through the Collin Bookstore. So this is a link that will take them to the Collin Bookstore, and then it tells them step by step what they need to do. Now, if you're teaching at a dual credit campus, you will need to know which bookstore your campus is associated with. And you will receive an email from me with what bookstore your campus is supposed to use. So make sure your students are purchasing it with that bookstore. And that, I'll show you that resource here in a minute. And it tells them step by step how to purchase it. Now, a couple things to remember. One, use your Collin College email when they're purchasing anything from the bookstore. Following that, after completing the purchase of this personability class, make sure you communicate to the students that they do not have to go pick anything up at the bookstore. This is basically, we just need proof of purchase. So an email proof of purchase that they purchased that, and they will actually, I made an assignment for them to upload that email into to show that they purchased it. So, and I'll show you that next. And then it goes through some more resources for the students in here, tech support and such things like that. And here's some more student resources for Collin. These are all required to put in every course. Now this is Module 1. And if you look here on Module 1 on the lecture portion, this module, it gives an overview of this module. So it tells what the module covers, it tells the course learning outcomes, it gives the learning outcomes for this specific module. So what we're covering in this module here, the lecture requirements, and the lab course checklist. So this is what they're going to be doing in the lecture course, and this is what you would do in the lab portion. So you notice here, one of the assignments is proof of purchase of the personability resource. They have some plagiarism quizzes to make sure they really understand what it means to plagiarize. And those are things that I put in all my online courses, and then complete the discussion on how we perceive professionalism. And then the lab portion, they're going to create their own personal brand. And the instructions are located in the course. So
I'm a Grammarly Premium, so
this is a video that shows students what personability is all about. I would recommend showing this to your students if you have them in person, in lab the first day. If you do not and you have them in web, maybe have them watch it somehow, prove that they're watching it, maybe make it into an assignment.
The premium.
Welcome to the Personability Product Training video number 1, Introduction to
I'll go ahead and play this so you guys each can watch it here in this video.
Personability, brought to you by the National Health Career Association. This video provides you with a general overview of the Personability product and provides you instructions for launching the baseline assessment. Personability is an online training product that helps you build essential soft skills and improve the way that you respond to situations. It uses learning and assessment through virtual simulation. Personability is designed for those going into healthcare or already working in healthcare. You'll examine the importance of essential soft skills such as emotional intelligence, communication, and teamwork to reflect on skills you already excel in, as well as those areas where you need additional remediation. Then you can come up with a plan and timelines to improve these areas. Problem solving can have its complications. Therefore, Personability teaches you a 3-step problem-solving method called AIM: Align, Inquire, and Make a Plan. You can use this method during your training, in the industry, or even in your personal life. Personability incorporates gating, which means you can't advance to a new section until you complete the previous section. The My Progress line in the dashboard keeps you moving in the right direction. You'll start with a simulation baseline assessment. It measures how well you currently incorporate soft skills into difficult conversations and how well you problem solve. Select baseline assessment and the simulation will launch. How you perform will not count against you. Do your best. Your score will be compared with your final simulation assessment score. Following the simulation, you'll move into the modules. The modules provide you with lots of opportunities to reflect and apply concepts you'll learn throughout your training. Once you complete all the modules, you'll take the Essential Skills Assessment. It covers the content you learned in the modules. After you take the Essential Skills Assessment, you'll move into the first practice simulation conversation. Here you'll practice applying the steps of AIM, along with a few new techniques you'll learn in the simulation. Lastly, you'll take the final simulation assessment. It measures how much you improved from your baseline assessment. Once you successfully complete the tutorial, you can print your certificate of completion. Thank you for your time. We're hopeful that you found this training video helpful and that you're excited to get started. Feel free to navigate to the other 3 product training videos in this series.
Okay, so that showed you a good overview of the Personability course, and I highly recommend showing that to your students because it does have some really good value to it. Next, this is the proof of purchase assignment. So this shows that they've purchased the Personability course from the bookstore. Here I highlighted the areas where you're going to insert your information from what bookstore they're going to go to. And this is the email or the spreadsheet that you will look at, that you will receive from me, that will show you what course it is. So it looks like this. And you notice here is a list of different courses that we have the fall of 2023 when we started this process. And here is your bookstore. So if you're teaching at 1210 WG1, WG2, your bookstore is going to be the Salina campus. So you're going to want to incorporate that in here and put in Salina campus and then select the course number, which would be the WG1, WG2. Put the section information. So you want to fill this out so the students know exactly what to do. And that's really important. Now there has to be a due date on this, and for high schools we are giving them approximately 3 weeks to purchase this just because of funding. We didn't know if they would have a hard time financially with their family, so we're giving them 3 weeks. If you're teaching a general population course here at the Tech campus or the Wiley campus, I'm going to give them the first week to purchase it. It must be purchased by the first week. The one reason we can extend it in dual credit is because it's a 16-week class, where on the campuses it's only an 8-week class. So we need to get that completed and set up right away because they have a lot of work to do in such a short amount of time. So next, these are some video quizzes. This is the video quiz on plagiarism. Where do we place in-text citations? I really like to see them use in-text citations when they write discussions, and then how to avoid plagiarism. There are quizzes in here, so while they watch this, they will get questions. And then to upload the results, all you have to do is click on quiz results, and you'll be able to look at student results. Whoever took the quiz, you'll be able to grade it this way. And that's how you find the quiz results for those. And then lastly, we have this discussion on how to perceive professionalism. Read through the discussions. I do put an excellent discussion post. This is how to create an excellent discussion post. It's a great resource for students that aren't good at discussion writing. And this does give them a resource to help them. And then it does have some different deadlines. So a couple things I do require: that they must reply to at least one peer discussion by Sunday, but the due date for this is going to be like Wednesday of the week. So it depends on what it is, but they'll watch this video and then answer the prompts, and then they have to respond to some classmates. So that's the in-person. This is the lab portion where I made some PowerPoints and some videos that you can share and talk about professionalism and talk about different things in the classroom, and then create your personal brand, which is a fun activity for students to really figure out who they are as an individual and what their strengths are. Now, if you do this in person, you can do a video you can have them presented in class, which I have done that before, or if it's online, I have them record a video of themselves explaining their collage that they've made of their personal brand. Now, the personal brand comes from the Cengage textbook, so read through chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it does talk about personal brand in there. So if you need more information about that, you can look through that textbook, which you can get through Cengage if you're an instructor. You just need to request it. So that is the first module and kind of gives you an overview of the course. Now let's take a look at how you're going to get these resources set up for the students, because there are a couple things that you need to do for us to get access. So it's going to start with making sure that you have updated the student roster, which is the bookstore has a copy of that roster, and so do we. So here is the student roster. I'm going to go ahead and pull this over. And what I did here on the bottom, you'll see different names and different pieces of information, the actual course that you're teaching. So here, I'm Michelle Kelly, so this is one of my courses, and I'm going to put on here, you're going to want to list your students' names and their ID and their call-in email. And you got to put that in here before the class starts. So you're going to get access to this, and they will update when your student pays. You can also monitor it on the proof of purchase assignment. So if you know that they purchased it because they got an email and they uploaded it, you can say payment due. Every Friday of the first 3 weeks, the bookstore will be submitting a purchase order to the NHA organization. Once that purchase order is submitted and they receive it, we will receive inventory from NHA. And I know that may sound confusing, but I will be monitoring that. So do not invite any students to your class until you receive word from me that you have inventory in your account. Every teacher will have so much inventory per the number of students that they've listed here on the roster. So it's really important to make sure you put that information in there. So where do you find the information that you need? Your name, your student IDs, and the email. That will be on your Canvas course shell, and you're going to go into people. If you click on people, it'll list the people that are in here, and it'll have their name, and then when it's actual students in here, because currently there's no students in here, you're going to have the CWID number or their student ID number here, and then it's going to have the first part of their call-in email. So like mine is ML Kelly, it'll show that first part of the email, and all you have to do is add the @collin.edu, and that will be your students. I don't want to pull up students' names because I don't want to do a FERPA violation, so I'm trying to stay away from student names. So that is how you put in your roster, and you'll get this shared document from me. So just find your name on the bottom and the course that you're teaching, and you're going to list your students here, and then I'll be able to see that, the updated information. Okay, so you'll receive this spreadsheet from me, and you will receive this spreadsheet here from me, which will be the list of names and people that will be teaching, and you'll be able to find out what course number you're teaching by me. I'll enter that information in here for everybody. Okay, so those are the two spreadsheets you're going to get emailed from me, and you do need to monitor these spreadsheets for the first 3 weeks of your course. So that is the overall review of this course. I will also be recording a video on how to set up an NHA. You'll be getting an email from me for an NHA account as an instructor, and then you'll also have to invite your students to your course. So I will record a video on how to do that. If you have any questions, you can contact me. My name is Michelle Kelly, and my email address is mlkelly, Kelly, @collin.edu. Thanks, and I hope you guys have a great day.